Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the channel. It has been so good to have time off for the end of the year. I'm so happy to be here today, though. I literally haven't read cards in like 10 days, and that's a long time for me, even personally. So I'm really happy to be here today to give you a big look at 2021 for you. I do want to start out today with an intention candle. We're going to be doing this blue candle back here. I do apologize that we're not doing individual candles again today because my candle order that I ordered literally 2.5 weeks ago is still not here. So apologies, we're doing a big candle, but I feel like I would have done a big candle for the year anyways. Like I would have made that choice even if I had the candles. So hopefully within the next reading, we will get back to our individualized candles for each pile. So we're going to start out with an intention candle for the year. If you would like to go ahead and select your card pile and just like not do this part, that's totally your prerogative. I'll let you know that this is pile number 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So if you want to go ahead and choose, head to the timestamps down below. I will give you more of an explanation and such after the candle. So stick with me or head off to your reading. It is all up to you. But I do want to say first, with this blue candle, there's a few things with it. Now, because this is a new year, you can literally set any intentions for your year. You do not have to go with what I'm about to say. You can literally go with anything. The color is nice to like use the color as it is implied, but it's not something that you have to do. You can set any intention you would like to. But blue candles do correspond to the emotions and also to the throat chakra with speaking our truth. Blue also corresponds to our intuition to some degree. I would say that that's almost more of a purple candle, but I do believe that if we are trusting our emotions and our intuition, they can coincide together. So you might want something around that. Now, I do want to say, I do feel that 2020 was really hard for a lot of us. And so I felt like an emotional balancing candle made a lot of sense because I did have some color options, but I felt like blue going into 2021, I just felt like that was so appropriate. And the other thing I want to say about it is I chose this candle because it is patchouli scented. And I know you can't smell the candle, but just take the intention for what it is. With patchouli corresponds to the root chakra, and the root chakra deals with survival mode. I feel like 2020 put a lot of people in survival mode. And so if that's something you're wanting to manifest out of, to set intention to become a little bit more stable in 2021, then I feel like this is also really appropriate. But obviously, like I said, set whatever intention you want. Go ahead and place your hands over your heart space, your left and right hands over your heart center, because as we always say on this channel, and we know, love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune our energy to. So when we do this, we're actually activating those intentions, and we are bringing them to us not only faster, but also in a more aligned way, in a heart-centered way. So go ahead and place your hands over your heart. We're going to do 3 deep breaths in and out on this intention. So if you need a moment to choose the intentions, you can choose multiple, you can choose one. If you need a moment, just pause the video before we do the deep breathing, but I want you to really feel into this intention. And I'm going to do one with myself too. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and light this for us with my enchanted lighter. And we are going to have this candle with us for this whole reading, which I really like. And hopefully I won't burn through the whole thing in the reading so we can actually see it. Ooh, did you see how that candle just came to life right there? It like kind of went down the wick really small. And then as soon as it hit the wax, as soon as you have that like aha moment this year, and it might be right now, it might be 3 months from now, it might be 8 months from now for you. But as soon as you have that aha moment, to me, that really says that spirit is like, yeah, you're just going to ignite this year. And I know we all set these beautiful intentions for 2020, and some of us maybe accomplished those things. I feel like I actually accomplished a lot this year, but I know that that has not been the same for everyone. And I think this year has been a mixed bag for everyone. But I hear a lot of people saying, like, nope, we're going to go into 2021 really quietly. We're going to not touch anything, not say anything, not say this is going to be our year. But you know what? If 2021 is going to be your year, you set that intention. You set whatever you are the one that gets to set those for yourself. Don't let anybody else tell you how to do it or what to do for you, because you know your best interests. So I do feel though, if you don't know what that means, like an aha moment, it's kind of like a light bulb moment or a moment that just like really shifts your perspective of yourself or of what you're doing. So I feel like many of us collectively are going to experience that this year. And the candle honestly looks really good. It's not super dim. It's not huge. I feel like it's a very steady increase of energy, and I love that. So feel empowered, babies. But anyways, if you need some help choosing a card pile here, so like I said, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're doing 4 today because I felt like, it's a year spread. We need quite a bit. So if you're having trouble choosing, you can look at the timestamp, see if your lucky number is in there. You can pause this video, take some time to meditate. I'll also give you some time to meditate. You can also choose to say the numbers 111, 222, 333, 444 over and over until something feels like it's resonating. And please know that a few things, you can choose multiple piles. You don't have to be just confined to one. Also know that these are generalized readings, so I'm going to get a lot of messages from your guides as well as mine. And I'm filtering through so much energy that sometimes it is impossible to get a full pile that just resonates with one person, if that makes sense. A lot of times it does, and it does work that way, but sometimes it's just a few of the cards. Sometimes it's just like the start, the end. Sometimes it's just the candle that you're here for. You decide that. And lastly, I do want to say that I am not in control of your destiny. These cards are not in control of your destiny. You are in control of your destiny. So if you see something here that isn't really in alignment with you, you have the energetic power to change that. I am just reading the current energy right now of the piles. So, and of like your energy and what your guides are saying. So that is what I have for you. I'm going to go ahead and be quiet for about 20 or so seconds, give you some time to meditate on these cards, and then we'll get started. All right, so pile number 1, the first 8 cards I feel like are kind of interesting, and I don't know that I've done anything like this before, but basically I'm kind of going to tell you where you've been or what you've been transitioning into or what you will be transitioning into in 2021. So we have 2 different decks that are going to coincide, and you'll kind of see what I mean when I say this. So we have for you the Hierophant. Some of you might be Capricorn placements. The Hierophant to me is major Cap Daddy energy. We have the 4 of Wands for you. We have the Hanged Man. And then we also have the 9 of Swords. So I feel like for many of you, this is where maybe you've been or where you're starting at the beginning of this year. And we'll get into kind of what we're going to transition out of these. So with the Hierophant, I feel like some of you maybe even have had more of a spiritual awakening this year, or you are just cresting into it. And I say that because with the Hierophant and the 9 of Swords, I don't know how well you can tell with the imagery on these cards, but this is what is called the before tarot. And they are what happens like the second before the actual images in Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. So this is like right beforehand. So we have, you're not quite awake, right? You're still asleep. There's a lot of stuff going on while you're sleeping. We have, like, there's not quite a celebration with the Four of Wands yet. I need to look at this one a little bit closer. There's not quite this, like, I feel like I always look at the Hierophant as like, it to me is like a very like religious card. Like it is the card of maybe like familiar religion, or like, it's almost like, that's not to say that you can't be here and be religious. I want to make that very clear. I always try my best to be extremely accepting of anybody's spiritual path. Like, I'm not here to tell you how to, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Like, but I feel like for many of you, there maybe is something that you're starting to kind of question about it. And that could even be a non-religious path as well. Maybe you're somebody that has never really had spirituality, or maybe only a little bit, and you're starting to kind of question that reality. And with the Hanged Man, it's like, I feel like many of you are maybe even going to be stepping into a little bit of a break early in the year. Like there might be a break for you. And I feel like you're wanting to put your attention more on your home. Maybe even this year you've done that. You've taken more time to look at kind of the home that you've created. And I've talked about this before a little bit, but not just like your actual physical home, which, like, yes, that as well. But I also feel like it's the home that you create within yourself, you know, the person that you sleep with at night, because that's you, right? Especially because we do have this image of sleeping. So I feel like if this isn't already happening right now, this is what you're going to be kind of marching into the new year with. And I want to pull, these next 4 cards are going to be the transition out of that. So we have the Queen of Wands. Wow, that's powerful. We have the Hierophant again. Interesting. This is very interesting. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, this is beautiful. I can't believe I've never done a spread like this. So right off the bat, if you've been having a lot of questions around your identity and your spirituality, you are going to come out of this in 2021 with a better conception of who you are and what your belief system is, whatever that is for you. I feel like many of you maybe have been a little bit more confused, but with the Queen of Wands is a very confident card. And this is really standing in your own power, and that's like the biggest thing. It's authenticity. It's courageous. It's creative. And to me, this is really you standing up and saying, actually, this is who I am, and I don't need to explain it to you. I feel like maybe many of you have like really strict, I'm hearing that many of you maybe have had like a really strict upbringing, and that with that upbringing, you haven't really gotten to decide for yourself what you believe in. And now in 2021, this is where you're going to get to do that. Even if you already have your own beliefs, maybe you're like in the broom closet or something, if you're a witch, or you're kind of spiritually in the closet. This is the year where you're going to kind of stand out and say, nope, this is who I am. I don't really care if you don't like it. And you're going to feel good about it. I don't want this to like, I feel like I immediately felt fear. Like, if you didn't know, I'm an empath as well, so I can pick up on your emotions. I immediately felt fear, like, oh my gosh, like I can't expose that part of myself. But Spirit really wants you to know that when we see a Queen of Wands, you feel confident in this decision. This is not like that fear that you're holding on to about being your most authentic self outwardly is going to dissipate. You will feel very strong in this decision this year. But what's interesting is we have the Hierophant and we have the Four of Wands. So I feel like many of you might actually be stepping away from family this year. And again, I don't want you to feel like this means you're never going to speak to your family again. That could be the case for some of you if maybe you just need to go off on your own for a while. But I feel like many of you are going to make that decision, because we have the Four of Wands. To me, is the card of home. It often talks about the foundation of where we've come from, and it does talk about celebration and victory too. But when we have it paired with the Hierophant, and I'm already kind of being told that that's where we've come from, I feel like this is you standing out and saying, no, this is how I'm choosing to believe. So these kind of go hand in hand, really. And you might even be the person, like, through your example. Now, I don't want you all to get caught up in this, like, I have to convince other people to be like me, because that is a whole other topic for a whole other time, where a lot of times when we learn something new and exciting, we think that we have to kind of, for lack of a better word, we have to convert everyone around us to be where we are and help them, quote unquote, wake up. When in reality, that's not for us to do. That's for those individuals to decide or not decide. And so I don't want you to get this impression that you're going to, like, be able to change everyone around you's perspective. But I do think that by you leading by your own example, it is going to at least allow people to kind of see that whatever you're interested in is not a bad thing. And I think they're actually going to be like, wow, they're really out here doing their thing. And that's awesome. Now with the Hierophant leading in, or excuse me, the Hanged Man leading into the King of Pentacles, if there's many of you that have either been without work, or you've been wanting to work on some kind of a side hustle, maybe you've been wanting to get more into entrepreneurship, 2021 and for the next few years, as we have Aquarius transiting Saturn, I really believe we are going to see an uprising of entrepreneurship. Many people are going to start online businesses. So, and I'm getting the chills as I'm saying this, like I have goosebumps from head to toe. So some of you might have actually been thinking about it. But I feel like many of you this year, you are going to, like, break through any limiting beliefs that you have about why you can't be successful on your own. And you're going to become more established financially, because the King of Pentacles is somebody who makes really good financial decisions. They tend to have a lot of money. And to me, it's a card of a lot of wealth. Like, it's not just wealth for yourself, it's wealth for, like, your legacy. So many of you might even be starting legacies this year, quite literally. So finances this year, if you feel like you're in a place where finances have not been good, Spirit wants you to know that by the end of 2021, that is going to turn around for you, and you're the one that's most likely going to create that wealth. Now, when we also have the Nine of Swords paired with moving into the Queen of Cups, I feel like many of you have also been really afraid of spirituality in particular, or your own intuition. Like, you might be the people that, you're, like, afraid of ghosts, you're afraid of, or, like, spirits. Maybe you're afraid of, like, maybe, like, somebody told you, like, witchcraft was evil or tarot cards were evil, or you're kind of, like, questioning if this is okay to look at. And Spirit wants you to know that you are going to get so in touch with your intuition that that fear isn't even, like, it's going to dissipate. You're going to be very focused on learning about, like, more paranormal, more, like, otherworldly, I would say. I don't even want to say otherworldly. I feel like that is, like, a negative, because it's not negative. But I feel like you're going to be so in touch with yourself that you're going to, like, really advance your own psychic skill. I look at the Queen of Cups as somebody who is very psychic, because they're very in touch with their emotions and their intuition. That's, like, where all their personal power comes from. So what I think is so cool about these two cards is that the Nine of Swords, because it is from the Before Tarot, the Nine of Swords, it's like the things that scare you never happen. You never have to, like, you kind of skip right over that into just being, like, intuitive and psychic as hell. So I love that for you. I feel like you're really going to get an increase in that. And the more you trust your intuition, I feel that your financial situation and your own self-confidence is really going to get an upgrade. So some more major themes that we have for 2021 for you. We have peace, which I feel, again, that a lot of people maybe have felt very, like, robbed of peace this year in 2020. So moving into 2021, this is going to be a big theme for you, is just finding peace within yourself, and your surroundings. And then we also have strength. And I love that too. Again, when I read these two initial cards, I felt that moment of fear of, oh, I can't be myself because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, these are all the reasons I can't do it. But you really are going to have the strength to persevere. And especially, like, you might even be that person that's like, get knocked down 10 times, get up 11, you know? It's very, you are going to acquire the strength to keep persevering. And we also have safe travel for you. And I also noticed that with safe travel, this card has the master number 22 on it. Which I really like, because master numbers, if you didn't know, you don't condense those. They're like really special numbers, the repeating ones. And with safe travel, I know that for a lot of us, travel has not been possible this year. But in 2021, it looks like you will get to travel somewhere and you will be safe doing it. So, those of you that have been wanting to plan a trip for 2021, I feel like this is kind of Spirit's urge saying, like, go ahead and make arrangements for that trip because it's going to be okay. And I don't know how many of you follow planetary alignments, transits, astrology like that, but something I will say for those of you that are planning travel, it looks like from my own research and also looking at other astrologers that I really admire, it looks like we are going to have some time in May will be like the best time for travel, May 2021. So if you're thinking of planning a trip, May 2021 is probably going to be the best time. But even outside of that, Spirit is saying, you're going to be okay to make that trip, make that arrangement. So we also have hold your vision for you. And we also have nothing will come of this situation. So with hold your vision, this is like your vision for travel, your vision of peace, your vision of what financial security looks like, your vision of really everything for it. Like, I feel like this is such a powerful card to get for a year reading because it's holding the vision that you have for yourself for the year, right? And with nothing will come of this situation, Spirit is really wanting you to know anywhere that you're feeling very challenged this year in 2020, which I guess technically we're now in 2021 when you see this video, but where we have been challenged in 2020, Spirit wants you to know that, like, it's okay to let your misconceptions and any fears or limiting beliefs that have come up for you, it's okay to let those things go because they do not control your destiny or where you're going. They are things of the past. They have taught you valuable lessons, but it is okay for you to move forward now. You don't have to worry that this thing is going to crop up around every corner. Especially those of you that are Capricorn Saturn, I'm hearing from Spirit that if you've been through your Saturn return and you were like really afraid, trying to kind of navigate your life in a certain way, if there's something that's really been on your mind that you've been afraid of coming to the surface, Spirit wants you to know that you can put that away and put it down. Nothing is going to happen with it. And just really holds your vision of what you want your life to be like. Now, we also have a couple of energy cards. I really wanted to get your energy themes for 2021 as well. And so, first of all, I'm going to read them and then I'll lay them down. We have number 10, authority. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, direct, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So I like this card for you because with the Hierophant coming out twice, the Hierophant to me is a card of authority. It is a card but this is all about you becoming the authority on your life, not letting anybody else dictate how you're going to move, what you're going to do, how you're going to advance your way in the world. I feel like this is really going to be your year of like freedom, so to speak. And you're going to start to make your own personal decisions despite what people around you have been saying or thinking. And we also have number 40, soul time. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, and one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Ooh, I just got the chills again. So Spirit is really reminding you that you are a soul having a human experience. You have limitless potential. And I feel like this is something that Spirit is really telling me to say right now, is that so many of us get this idea that like maybe you've listened to other manifestation coaches and they're like, oh, if your manifestation's not working, like maybe it's not for you. I want to make something very clear to you. Your potential is limitless. You can manifest anything that you desire. If it is desired by you, it is destined for you. And even if it ends up being something that is not like you eventually decide, oh, this really isn't what I want, or I didn't want this, then you get to learn the lesson of why it didn't work out. You don't get to just not manifest it. It doesn't work like that. If it is desired by you, it is destined for you. Take that mantra. It's not mine. I got that from Manifestation Babe, who is an incredible manifestation coach. but you have limitless potential. There is nothing that you desire that you're not allowed to have. The reason you even desire it is because your soul came here to experience it. So don't, like, you literally have that, like, I wish I could make you feel what I am feeling because it is like, I feel like many of you are allowing yourselves to feel trapped by past experiences or things that you've done or said. And in reality, it's just, it's a mindset. It's stepping out of that mindset and realizing, oh my God, I can literally do anything. And when you have that moment, that realization, that's where everything is going to change this year. And I feel like that's a big realization. If you haven't already had it, it's coming. And the last two cards that I have, and then we're going to roll some astro dice for you. The last two cards I have are romance cards. So this is just about if you are in a relationship or you're looking for one. Here's just like a couple little pieces for the year. We have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So those of you that are looking into safe travels here, this is something like plan a retreat with your significant other. This is the year to do it. Like I said, May is going to be a really good time. And then we also have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So if there's someone that you really want to be with or you're currently with, put in a little extra effort this year. They might really need that. And it's going to be good for the relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the astrology dice for you just to see what other themes we're going to get. I'm going to roll this one a couple of times and then these all of them together once. So I'm just going to try to get some houses out for you first. We have the fourth house, which is the house of Cancer. Cancer is all about the home and family. And I feel like this is kind of a family-laden reading, whether it is a romantic retreat. Also, we talked about kind of breaking away from the family, coming out on your own. So I feel like that. And four, if you don't really feel like it's family for you, this can also be just changing your foundation. Then we have number, is this 6 or 9? I believe it is 6. Nope, it's 9. My apologies. I had to look at the die to see. But 9 is the house of Sagittarius, which is all about wisdom, getting wiser. And it's like higher learning, higher wisdom. It's not just like learning little hobbies, tips, tricks, crafts, things like that. It's higher knowledge. It's learning, again, more about spirituality, more about your intuition, more about how the world works, maybe even picking up philosophy. So I feel like this year you're going to want to learn a lot more about yourself and the world around you. And we'll roll one more here. And we rolled 6. Oh, see, we were going to get 6 anyways. Wait, no, that's a lie. I'm sorry. It's 9 again. So that's, again, House of Sagittarius. So I'm going to roll all 3 together, and then that is going to do it for us, pile number 1. All right, so we got the 5th house. I love that. We got the Sun, and we got Aquarius. So some of you might be Aquariuses. That sounds funny. Some of you might be Aquarian, or you could be attached to an Aquarian, but I want to make it also very clear that we have Jupiter and Saturn both in Aquarius for 2021, which I feel like Aquarius in Saturn, it's good that we also have Jupiter coming out, Aquarius and Jupiter, because that's going to be more benefic and more helpful. But Aquarius is a lot about technology. It also can deal with fame. There was somebody in my comments that was like, the 11th house is not fame. But yes, actually it does deal with fame sometimes because there's a few different interpretations of the 11th house, but it does deal with also like the wishing house. And I can't, off the top of my head, there's a couple other things why it corresponds to fame that I cannot think of, and I'm sorry. But this can be like fame, rising to your own power. And also it deals with communication, in my opinion, because it is an air sign. And we also have 5, which is the house of Leo. I feel like 5s can be good and also a little difficult because it is the house of fun and the house of children. Some of you might even be trying to bring children in or family planning this year. But 5 can also be that like wrench in your plans before you get to the 6 of like a steady routine. So there might be some hiccups this year, but don't worry, just keep shining, keep doing you. And the sun, this to me is all about you. The sun is the ego. And many of you might even be experiencing ego deaths this year, but you're also going to be having such a like an up level of your own consciousness because of that. So that is what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope this was helpful. I love you so much. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm at Kloee Taylor. I recently today started uploading to my gaming channel again, and I have something fun coming up for you next week. If you're into games at all, if you're not, it might not be for you. I'll be doing another announcement next week, but I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. So those of you that have been trying to like DM me or get in contact with me, I don't do private readings or anything, but if you've ever just wanted to have a conversation with me, make sure that you're following my Twitch channel. I will link it down below. We're going to be going live on Tuesday and Thursday nights, playing a myriad of games together and just talking about astrology and tarot and life. And it's going to be a good time. So make sure you're following that. And again, I'll make another announcement on that next week when I go live, but I'm very excited to actually get to sit and talk to all of you because I've never done that while I've had this channel. So that is, I think, everything. If you like any of the decks, please make sure to check the links down below. I will link them all in the order that they appear. And if this reading resonated and helped you out, I do have my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips from my readings. Never an expectation, but always appreciated. Many blessings to you this year. Remember that when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. Love you so much, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. All right, pile number 2, welcome in to your 2021 year ahead reading. So just like with pile number 1, the first 8 cards are going to be interesting. Like I'm going to lay down the first 4 and then we'll kind of look at what we're going to be transitioning into. So kind of like where you are now or what you're first going to be stepping into in 2021, and then we'll look at what you're going to transition into. So first of all, we have the Page of Cups. I feel like this is the group where many of you maybe were the people that were like, I have such good intentions for 2020. This is going to be the best year ever. Da, 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 da. And, or maybe that's what you've set intention for going into 2021. But I feel like many of you, like you were expecting great things from this year. We also have the Queen of Cups for you. So many of you maybe also got really in touch with your intuition this year, your intuitive nature. Maybe you learned about manifesting or like how to kind of set intention. Maybe that's something that you just learned about this year. Maybe you learned it from me. We have the Queen of Wands. It's funny, some of these cards were also in pile number 1, but in the opposite. So if you were considering pile number 1, maybe go back and watch that one as well. But then we have the Queen of Wands. I feel like many of you learned how to stand up in your own power this year, or maybe that's what you're setting intention for the year, for this year. And then we also have the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups to me is like you are maybe trying out a lot of different things, or maybe you have in 2020, you tried out a lot of different things in terms of like different hobbies, different crafts, different identities. I'm sensing that Spirit is saying some of you might have a lot of Gemini energy in your birth charts. I say that because I feel like Gemini is known for kind of changing a lot, meaning people always like to give Gemini a bad rap that they're like two-faced, but that's really not it. They just tend to kind of jump around because they're curious about everything. So they will, it's like hard for a Gemini to like stick to one aesthetic or stick to one thing. They kind of want to look at a bunch of things. They have a very fast-paced mind, but even if you're not a Gemini, maybe you experienced kind of energy like that this year. But I feel like, or I say this year, but you're seeing this on the 1st, so last year. But I feel like many of you, 2021 or 2020 might have been a year where you have had to go inward and really discover yourself. And I say that because with the Page of Cups, it was like you were expecting good things to happen. The Queen of Cups to me tells me that you've really kind of studied yourself more a little bit. And the Queen of Wands is somebody who is authentic, courageous, and boldly themselves unapologetically. And then the Four of Cups usually is a lot about boredom. And I'm wondering if many of you that have kind of done maybe a lot of self work, if you're getting bored because you're just not really sure what the next step is. So I feel like many of you, this might be where you currently are, is in this state of like boredom. So we have for you transitioning into 2021, we have the King of Swords. I'm going to lay them all out first and then we'll talk about it. We have the Star. We have the Fool. These are all really powerful cards. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. So with the King of Swords, I feel like there's almost this air of, I feel like maybe 2020 has made you bitter. And I don't like, if that's not you, like that's, just hear me out for a second. But I feel like 2020 maybe made you a little bit more cynical. Like walking into 2020, things were really exciting. And maybe even walking into 2021, you're just like, nah. And I keep seeing this meme. It came up in pile number 1 as well. That's like, we're going to walk into 2021. We're not going to say anything. We're going to be quiet. We're not going to touch anything. Like basically like, don't curse the year, which I don't even believe in that mentality, but it's just like meant to be silly. But I feel like maybe this past year was difficult in the sense that you maybe just haven't really fully discovered what your passion is yet. You might have seen some of it, but I feel that the King of Swords is somebody that is like very knowledgeable and very smart. Like there is a lot of positives to the King of Swords. People will listen to you because you have things to say that are important. But I feel like with it being paired with all of these cards, also, I don't know why my light just changed. I'm sorry about that. Spirit be messing with us, okay? But with this King of Swords, I feel like because it's paired with all of these like self cards, the first one kind of coming down, especially off of a Page of Cups, it's very serious. And the Page of Cups is like very optimistic, very open to things. And the King of Swords is very serious and very like, nope, this is how it is. I got shit to say, da 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 da. It's very like rooted in knowledge. So, I mean, you could say that maybe you went from being a little more carefree to being a little bit more serious. And you might find that in 2021 that you are getting a lot more serious about things. So I don't want you to think that it's like all bad because it's not. Like I said, King of Swords is like really important too. They got things to say and people will listen. Now moving on to that Queen of Cups, moving into the Star. This is beautiful. I love this transition because to me, the Queen of Cups being about her intuition, being about really studying the emotions of herself and maybe even others. And then moving into the Star, it's very water centric because we have the Star here depicted as this woman, pouring water from like basically getting water from the earth and then pouring it back out, or getting water from the pond and then pouring it out into the earth, right? So I feel like what you've done is you've really gone into your own depths of yourself, and now you're able to support people in your life with emotional support. I feel like maybe in 2020, you kind of had to go through that yourself. And so now you're way more understanding of people. You're way more understanding. You have so much more empathy to give. I also feel like the Star it's like some of you might even be considering starting businesses in spirituality. And again, businesses came up in pile number 1 as well. I say that because I look at the Queen of Cups as a very spiritual card, a very psychic spiritual card. And the Star to me is someone that is really in alignment with their destiny, with their path. So I feel like this year you may actually come into that, and it could be in spirituality, but it also might just be about trusting your intuition and coming into your destiny because you're listening to yourself. And then with the Queen of Wands, with the Fool, this to me is really fun. I love this energy. It's very chaotic, but in a fun way, says the Sagittarius rising. I am a chaotic baby. But with the Queen of Wands being very authentic in her power, kind of learning more about herself, the Fool card really to me comes as this like, I'm just going to do the damn thing. I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to do something exciting. I'm going to throw caution to the wind. If not now, when is it going to happen? Now is the time, basically. The Fool definitely can, like, we can be a little critical of the Fool because sometimes he doesn't consider others or consider other things before making big leaps and bounds. But to me, the Fool is really exciting. Like, I love the Fool. I love when this card comes out. It's one of my favorites probably in the whole entire tarot deck. But the Fool to me just really says, I'm going to take this first step towards something exciting. And especially when we have it paired with the card of destiny, the Star for 2021, I feel like you're going to make a really big leap in your life this year towards something that really excites you, sets you on fire, and it's going to really help relieve that boredom. Now, the Five of Pentacles, this is really interesting to me because when we have this paired with the Four of Cups, to me, this is a transition of, I feel like many of you are just going to be tired of, this might sound crazy to some of you, but I feel like some of you are just going to become tired of the rat race, tired of financial, like the lies of the financial institutions. I feel that many of you are just kind of like this, like, how do I best put this? What I'm hearing from Spirit. It's like you're tired of like this lie that maybe you've been sold on, like, oh no, I'll be happy once I make this much money, or I'll be happy once I have a business that looks like this. I feel like many of you are actually going to fully come to understand that it's not about the monetary gain. It's about how you are feeling, because yes, you can be a six-figure entrepreneur or you can have millions in the bank, but if you're not good with yourself, you're still going to have those same problems. And I was actually just recently talking about this on Twitter when I mentioned that, like, something that people don't tell you about being like quote unquote internet famous is people don't tell you that when you don't feel good about yourself, the fame isn't going to change it. It's not going to make it better. It's not going to make you feel better about yourself. In fact, it's worse because more people try to latch onto your energy and take advantage of you because you are shining. They think you're doing something great and they ask, how can I get a leg up with you? And I've actually had that happen to me in my career quite a few times. And I had to learn over the last several years that, you know, I have to be a little more guarded with my energy, a little more careful, trust my intuition a little bit more, and really come at everything from a place of my heart, but also with boundaries. And so I feel like that's kind of like a similar situation here. The Five of Pentacles also talks sometimes about poverty, but I feel like we have too much goodness coming your way that I don't really want. Like, I don't think it's that poverty is coming for you in 2021 because you're following your destiny. And what we know about that is, like, you don't ever have to worry about financial gain when you're following what sets you on fire, what sparks that passion inside of you, because that will be a given. Literally, I can say that with confidence, even in my own life. That will be a given. But I feel like many of you are just like, there might even be a point in 2021 where monetarily you feel so secure that things that you used to think were like the best thing ever, you're realizing really aren't that great. That, like, it's way, and it sounds crazy, I know, but it's like personal fulfillment, your relationships, the things that you hold near and dear that don't cost any money are, I think, going to be a very big highlighted thing for your 2021. You're going to realize that it's not the material wealth that's going to make it better. And I will say this, being rich and being sad definitely feels better than being rich and being poor. I feel like I can say that from my own experiences too, because you can afford, like, healthcare, especially if you're in America, you can afford to do more for yourself. But at the end of the day, it's those things that really don't cost a thing. So anyways, I feel like that was a really long-winded explanation, and that's what I'm feeling with that. So we also have for you some more themes for 2021. We have friendship. We also have best possible decision. I love that. And we have harvest. That's funny. I was just watching a pick a card for myself last night. I want to say it was from the Gem Goddess, and she pulled this card in my reading, the Harvest. But basically, what this says to me is friendships, I think, are going to be highlighted for you this year. Mostly because we do have, like I said, it's not going to be about financial gain for you this year. I feel like you're going to like have that in the bag. It's going to be more about you tending to your relationships and reaping the harvest of what you've sown. I feel like you're also just going to feel really good about the decisions that you're making because we have best possible decision. So any decisions that you've been kind of hemming and hawing over, Spirit wants you to know that whatever decision you make, it will be the best possible decision. And the harvest to me, that's really, again, reaping what you've sown. Anything that you put into this year, by the time 2021 is over, you're going to get to that point of harvest. It might have even been things that you've been doing throughout 2020. You're going to see the harvest this year. We also have for you, the answers you need are coming with the full moon in Gemini. Put this one over here. And then we have confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. So you may be a Gemini or a Leo. It also might be that, so the answers you need are coming full moon in Gemini. Many of you maybe have been feeling like you just are missing pieces to the puzzle of what you're supposed to be doing right now. That is going to be coming possibly during Gemini season, which Gemini season is in like June. To me, June is Gemini season. May, like a little bit of like most of May is Taurus, and then we transition into Gemini in tropical astrology. So around June, like middle of the year, I feel like things are going to make more sense. Gemini is also a lot about communication. So I feel like you're going to be making new friends this year. New friendships are going to be coming in that are really significant to your journey and your destiny. And confidence being your key to success. I feel like that's probably the biggest thing you're going to have to work on this year. If you're somebody that is really trying to make a new life for yourself this year or build on things that you've already started creating, it's going to be your confidence that will be your downfall. So really make sure that, again, you need to be good with you. If it's money that you need, it's going to show up. If it's a support network you need, it's going to show up. The thing that you need to focus your intention on is yourself. Are you good with you? And then the energy themes of this year for you, I have two. So I'm going to read them and then lay them down. We have 9, allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. So this card I really like. And actually, is it next to me? I don't see it next to me. This is so random, but I want to share this with you. Here it is. It's in my drawer down here. I want to share this with you because I feel like it's very pertinent to this card. And I didn't share anything with pile number 1 like this, but so I've actually been reading this book that I feel like really, if this resonates with you, this like, I just need to allow good things for myself. This book I have currently been reading through, it's called The Big Leap. It's by Gay Hendricks. I will link it down below for you. I'm not all the way through it yet, but it's really opened my eyes to this possibility that we have things called upper limits, and they're usually not set by us. They're set by like parents, mentors, people around us that have conditioned us to think a certain way. And anytime something good happens to us, if it's more than we unconsciously think that we deserve or can have, we will find a way to sabotage it. So definitely check out that book if that's something you struggle with. Now, we also have Divine Feminine. The frequency of the feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. So again, I think this really has more to do with you. This has more to do with, especially if you're someone that is like, go, 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 go. These are my routines. I have to stick to them religiously or I'm not going to get anywhere. If you are somebody that is like very rooted in divine masculine, it doesn't mean that you have to identify a certain way. Everybody has divine feminine and divine masculine energy. But with divine feminine, this is more of a slower pace. This is more trusting your intuition. This is more about really just taking a slower approach to things. And I feel like again, you kind of are going to have to slow down. If you're somebody that is not overtly confident right out of the gate, you're going to have to slow down and give yourself the time to build that confidence. So I think that's a lot about what that's about. And the last two cards I have before we roll the Astro dice for you are a couple of relationship cards. So this is like if you're already in a relationship or you're looking for one. These are just a few cards for 2021. We have trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. So if you're in a relationship and maybe the waters have been a little rocky, just have a little more faith in your partner. And also if you're not in a relationship and that's something that you're looking for, trust that it's coming. And then we also have you deserve love. You are lovable. Again, this to me really goes with the confidence card. This is all about you are deserving. You don't get to just look at these relationships that other people around you have and decide, oh, that's not in the cards for me. I never get to have that. No, if it is desired by you, it is destined for you. You are lovable. That might even be the only message you needed out of this reading. You are lovable. And it's not because you do something special. It's not because you have some kind of talent. It's not because you are pretty on the outside or the inside. It's literally in you. Just being who you are is lovable. The end. You don't have to do anything special to earn that. It's not even a matter of earning. So let's go ahead and roll the Astro dice for you. We're going to roll this one a few times and then I'll roll them all three together for just some extra themes for 2021. We have two. Where did I get two out of that? You have 9. 9 is the house of Sagittarius. This is a lot about higher learning, higher education. This is going to be spiritual knowledge. Sometimes it can be hidden knowledge, depending on, I also feel like the 8th house is like hidden knowledge too. But when I think of higher learning, I feel like it sometimes can be more of the hidden stuff. So I do feel like this is going to be a year of emphasis on learning and not just like hobbies, crafting, like small learning. I don't even want to say that like crafting doesn't take big learning because it does, but I feel like this is more along the lines of higher knowledge, higher learning more about philosophy, psychology, learning more about the intellect. So let's go ahead and roll this one a couple more times. We have... Did I just roll 9 again? I did. This keeps coming up. Pile number 1 got 9 twice as well. So same. Oh my gosh. You literally got 9 3 times. I swear this is not a loaded die. You might even be a Sagittarius. But apparently you are just really going to be in for learning this year. Now let's go ahead and roll all 3 together. And we got 2, which is the house of personal finance. Is this Uranus? I always get, no, this is Uranus. I want to say that this one is Neptune. Don't quote me on that. If I'm wrong, I'll make sure to card it in here. And then we have Sagittarius. So this is going to be a very Sagittarius year for you. That is like your theme this year. So again, higher learning, higher knowledge, wisdom. I also feel like Sagittarius is very adventurous. So it might be like a lot about like adventure for you this year. 2, the second house is the house of Taurus, which is about personal finance. So I really feel like you are going to have your ducks in a row financially this year. Not once, even drawing the 5 of Pentacles, did I feel the energy of like just a lack of finance. I think finances are going to be great this year. And then with Neptune coming up, the thing that Spirit I'm hearing say to me is like dreams. Pay attention to your dreams right now. I think that they're going to be really important taking you through this new year. So that is what I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to check out my Instagram, TikTok, my Twitter. I'm at Kloee Taylor. I recently started uploading to my gaming channel again, link down below. And I also am going to be streaming next week. I will do a bigger announcement on this next week, but I know not everybody here loves video games, and that's totally okay. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because many of you that try to contact me via DM, via comments, via email, whatever, streaming is going to be the best place for you to talk to me. I do not have private readings open, so you won't be able to get one of those. But if you've ever just wanted to like have a conversation with me, make sure you're following my Twitch channel. I'm going live next week. It's going to be a good time. We're going to play some video games. We're going to chat, hang out. It's going to be super funsies. I'm really looking forward to it. I've never done that since I've had this channel. And it's going to be really fun. I'm genuinely excited to do it. So I'll be happy to have you all there. And I don't know if I said it, but if you like any of the decks or anything, everything is linked down below in the order it appears. And if this reading resonated and you feel called to do so, I have my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips for my readings, but it is never an expectation. But thank you to those of you that do choose to help out the channel. And please remember, when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. I love you so much, and I will speak to you all again. Pile number 3, and welcome to your 2021 year ahead reading. So we're going to start by kind of explaining either your current situation or what you're stepping into right in the beginning of 2021, and then kind of the transition that we'll see throughout this year. So we have the Knight of Cups, and I am using the Before Tarot, so the meanings are a little bit different. They're similar, but sometimes there's a differentiation. So just allow me to lay them down and we'll talk about it. We also have the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and then we also have Strength. Wow, I feel like many of you, 2020 might have actually been a good year for you, or you're stepping into 2021 feeling a lot better. And I say that because with the Knight of Cups, this to me, especially from this deck, is potentially a new romantic relationship or a new friendship that's really important and significant in your life, like in your lifetime. That's not normal for a normal Knight of Cups, but in this deck it is, because we have this woman presenting this cup, presenting her heart basically to the knights. And so you maybe have recently met someone, or you're taking your relationship to the next step, or that's something that's going to be happening very soon, early on in 2021. We also have for you the Ten of Pentacles, which to me says that you are either about to come into some money and quite a bit of it, or it's something that you're like coming into 2021 with better financial security. The Ten of Pentacles to me is hands down the best card for money in the tarot. There are a few others that are pretty good, and you have 2 of them. These to me are 2 of the best cards for money. The 10 to me is the best, followed by like the 6 and the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, the Page and the Knight as well. But I feel like the 10 to me is the best. It to me is like financial success, financial wealth, having like really good a handle on your finances. So this might be something that, again, you are actually coming into 2021 with quite a bit of money, or it's something like maybe you're doing financial planning right now. And we'll see kind of what this is going to lead into. With the Six of Pentacles, this tells me that there is an equal amount of giving and taking. This could be in a partnership or in finances. Maybe you are doing a service of some kind. Maybe your job has given you a raise. There's an equal exchange of money though. Like money, a lot of times when we talk about it, it can get very negative very quickly because everybody has their own opinion of how money should work, myself included. And the thing is, though, is if we look at money like it is just energy, and that it is the means that we decided on as a society to have our currency work in exchange for goods, but it's just energy. Money does not come from people, it comes from source, because what influenced people, or what, created that spark of an idea to gift money to someone, that comes from source. So if we treat money like it is just energy, to me, this is an equal exchange of energy. You are equally grounded in receiving money as you are giving it away. And I love that. And then with strength, I feel like many of you actually might be feeling pretty empowered coming into this year. Maybe you've slain a lot of your own beasts in your life, your own demons, and you're feeling a lot more confident. So I like this. I feel like this is a great way to enter a new year. Now, with the Knight of Cups, we do have the Lovers. So I feel like many of you are going to be getting into a very serious relationship this year. If you're already in one, you're going to be getting closer with your partner this year. I feel like 2021 is going to be emphasized by a relationship. It could be a friendship as well, but beings that we have the Knight of Cups and the Lovers over top as like the transition, I feel like this potentially could be twin flame or soulmate connection. For some of you, over the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Swords. So I feel like many of you are going to use whatever financial resources that you've been given this year or are moving into this year with. Throughout 2021, you are going to use that money to amplify your own gifts, in the sense that the Ace of Swords to me is like the sword of truth. It's using your voice, it's speaking your truth. And I feel like many of you are going to use those financial resources because you have something important to say that you want to share with the world. And 2021 is going to be the time that we're going to see that. And we also have Strength coming out again on top of the Six of Pentacles. And Strength to me, with the Six of Pentacles, I feel like, because if you notice in the imagery of strength, especially in this one, which is the original imagery, in this image of strength, we have a woman really like petting this lion, gently opening his mouth. There's no force, there's no aggression, there's no anger happening. And I feel like for you, because you have this really beautiful, even flow of giving and taking, everything is just working together for your highest good this year. And you are like gently coming into your fullest expression of self. And you are very gently, maybe even like helping others. Or to me, that's like the lion would represent others in your life, or maybe, like I said before, demons in your life. You are gently overcoming because there is this equal exchange of energy that's happening. And then we have the 10 of Cups over Strength at the end here. And I feel like many of you, possibly in 2021, because this might be a very emphasized relationship year, many of you are possibly going to be married by the end of the year if you're not married, or if you are somebody that wants children. If you don't, this message obviously isn't for you, at least this card, but some of you might actually be like expanding your family with your partner, family planning, because the 10 of Cups is really about your family and kind of having it all, having the like typical, I always like to call it like the American dream card, even though I know not everybody here is American. But it's like that American dream. It's the house, it's the car, it's the kids, it's the money, it's the security that, you know, it's you kind of having all of that. And so I do believe that sometimes it can talk about bringing children in, but it's really celebrating life with somebody that is very special to you. And so again, this could be marriage. It could be children. It could also be inheritance. I'm hearing Spirit says that it could be that you're inheriting a large lump sum of money from someone, and you are going to use that to kind of build up your own legacy. I feel like a theme for 2021 has been legacy. Even in the first two readings in this pick a card, we talked a little bit about legacy as well. So it's going to be a really big year for personal expansion, I feel like, especially for those of you that have been planting seeds in 2020, going into 2021, you've kind of really set yourself up for success this year, and you're going to actually get to share that success. This could also be business partners. I don't know why Spirit is telling us that right now, but this could also be in business partners. A few other key themes for your year. We have passion. Nah, man, this is the romance pile. We have romance. I could not have planned that better myself. And we have inspiration. Okay. Literally two of the most romantic cards in this deck. So passion, this is like a very fiery, this is why I said this could be like very twin flame energy. I don't really read a lot on relationships or twin flames, but when we have passion coming out, to me, twin flame energy can be very passionate. And then we have romance. That's why I was like, I feel like this is like a relationship. Maybe if you are in a relationship also already that like has felt kind of stale, the romance is going to be rekindled this year, and you're going to be taking the next steps because things feel very secure. And then with inspiration, let me actually read this one. This says, the goddess of magic, I ask thee to bring your inspiration to me. And we actually have two individuals depicted on this card. And so I feel like maybe this person that you're with, they kind of become your muse, or you actually go together into business and you start creating something together. I feel like this is very like family business energy. You may even inherit a family business this year, but I feel like this is a lot more about starting your own or taking over and creating something with your partner, whether it's a business or romantic partner. Something's coming up in there. 100% for 2021. And you're going to be feeling very inspired by this other person. And actually, we'll roll these again at the end of the reading, but I want to see if we can get an astro sign for them in their big three. Okay, so this person might have Taurus in their big three, which big three is going to be sun, moon, and rising, or they just maybe even a 10th house in Taurus or a midpoint in Taurus, which is like their online persona. But Taurus energy for sure, which is interesting because Taurus rules personal finance. And I see this as being a very big financial year for you. Like you are building something great this year. Pile number 3, you just have it going on. Okay, so we also have balance, spirituality, and practicality this year. And we also have communication is key. So you and this person, I do feel that you have excellent communication. That's why that card is coming out. But notice we have a lot of duality going on. This is why I said this person literally is part of your destiny. If there's somebody you're already with or there's somebody you're meeting, the reason that this is coming out, notice this year if you meet somebody really important to you, because they are going to be a huge part of your destiny. Because this Gemini is a pair, Pisces is a pair. We have so much duality going on here. Balancing spirituality and practicality. This to me is like setting intention for something really powerful, but also putting in the work to make it work. And with communication is key, this might be someone that you just felt comfortable with from the moment you met them. From the moment you started speaking, it was just like very apparent. That is big twin flame energy as well, is the like you sometimes will meet in like really interesting ways and you'll be in a constant communication. Even if like it doesn't seem serious at first, you never really let the other half go, if that makes sense. My twin flame is one of my best friends. We're not romantically linked, but that has been a constant in our relationship. Even when we have drifted apart, we've always kept like tabs on the other person since we were 5 years old, and I'm going to be 30 this year. So 25-year friendship, and it's never like wavered to where we don't speak. So communication, I feel like, is going to be really important. And I feel like they won't play games with you. Spirit wants you to know that this person, even if there's somebody you already know, there's somebody that will not play games with you. If they say they're going to call, they're going to call. If they say they're going to text, they're going to text. They're never going to play games with you and like mess with you. Okay. So we also have a couple like energy shifts for you this year in 2021. I'm going to read these and then lay them down. So we have Gaia, and also I apologize if the lighting is really dim in this reading. It is a very cloudy day at my house. It's not even 4 p.m. and it is so dark outside. I have to have my light on over here and it's kind of helping, but I'm so sorry that it is so dim. Like I feel like I'm reading in darkness right now. So I apologize. Okay, so we have 28 Gaia. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and the universe that birthed us all. So again, we have that energy of being connected to one another, but also connected to Source. Know that Source is going to bring the two of you together. And I feel like you might even be in the pursuit of like helping the environment. There's like, if that's been something you've been concerned about, but it's that togetherness. I feel like that is being highlighted. We also have at number 36, prosperity. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and richness that the universe provides. So y'all are getting rich this year. Like, come back to this reading in 2022 and tell me if y'all got rich in 2021, because I feel like this reading in particular has been very much about finance and very much about like you making good money this year. And all money is good money, but like it's money that maybe you've never even seen in your lifetime before. This is going to be like you literally have the energy of prosperity trying to make itself known. And then the last two cards I have actually are relationship cards for you for the year. So we have wedding. This situation involves marriage. So again, this could be somebody that you're already married to, or by the time 2021 is through, you will be getting married. I said that earlier. And then we also have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So something in psychology, those of you know, if you've been on my channel for a while, I am a psychology student. I'm majoring in psychology. Something that is like very rooted in psychology is, and I bring this up a lot because I think it's something that I really believe in and it's really important, is that we will attract relationships that mimic our parents. And it's not like that Freudian, like, oh, you're always going to marry your mom or your dad. It's not like that. But oftentimes, even if we had good or negative experiences with our caretakers growing up, we often, until we heal those aspects of ourselves, we will constantly attract those same patterns that we played out with our parents, with our partner. And so oftentimes, when we connect with someone, those parts of ourselves that we're still playing out, right? This pattern that we are playing out, even if it is unconscious, this pattern that we play out, our partner comes in to really help us heal that. And it's not their job to heal us, but a lot of times it can make us aware. And so in psychology, this is something that is like really taught in depth psychology, which is what I specifically am into. But in psychology, know that like your partner and you have the potential to heal old family wounding together. And that's something that I believe everybody has the power to do if that's something that you would like. But your relationship in particular is really throwing down an emphasis on that there might even be generational stuff that you two are going to get to heal from and change the legacy that you're creating. So it's beautiful energy. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and roll the Astro dice for you. We're going to roll the house dice a few times first. We got number 2. This is the house of Taurus. Taurus deals with personal finance. We already talked about maybe this other person has Taurus in their major 3 or in their 10th house. I would say North Node possibly as well. Like something major in the chart would be Taurus, or second house, which is Taurus. We also have the first house, which is the house of self and self-expression. You or them may also be an Aries or Aries dominant. But that is all about self-expression. I feel like especially when we have this sword card coming out, that talks a lot about speaking self-expression. And let's roll it one more time. We also have, oh my gosh, is this really the 9th house? The 9th house has come out in every single reading. I think this year is going to be a huge year for higher learning for everyone. Like this is just like a Sagittarian year for people. The 9th house is Sagittarius. It's about higher learning, higher knowledge, education, philosophy, psychology, adventure. You yourself could also be a Sagittarius, but I feel like many of us are going to be up-leveling our intellect this year in terms of what we know to be true. And I'm going to go ahead and roll all 3 of these together for you and just get one final roll. We have Mercury, the 8th house, and Aries. So Mercury is all about communication. This is going to be how we communicate with each other. And also, I think however you're choosing to communicate is going to be very important, because that Ace of Swords, I feel like, is an important key component to this reading. And that is about how you speak. With Aries here, again, this is going to be self-expression. This can also be about like your own workout and body routines. This might be the year that you get into like really good shape if that's something you're after. And then the 8th house, this is hidden knowledge. This is secrets. This is like spirituality, psychic ability. This is more kind of in like I don't want to say woo-woo because I think that's offensive, but it's more of like the hidden symbolism of life. This is the house of Scorpio. So this is going to be the stuff that we keep very secret. And maybe this person actually helps you highlight those parts of you so that you can kind of clear them out. But also you might be dabbling a little bit more into that kind of hidden knowledge this year. So that is what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope this reading is helpful and exciting. I'm excited for you. But please do not forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, links down below. I recently started uploading today to my gaming channel if you want to check that out. And I will make another announcement next week on this, like a plain announcement just by itself. But I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch starting next week. I know not everybody that's here is into gameplay, and that is so okay. The only reason I'm telling you about it is I know many of you have asked like how you can talk to me, have a conversation with me. You haven't been able to get through an email or DMs because I get flooded with them. But if you come to my stream, you can actually chat with me live. So make sure that you follow me on Twitch. My link is going to be down below. We are going to play video games and talk about astrology, tarot. You can just come hang out with me. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I'm so excited to dive into Twitch again this year. It's going to be fun. So check that out. And is there anything else? If you feel inclined to do so, it is always appreciated, never expected. I have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips for my readings. Should you want to leave a tip for me, again, never expected, always appreciated. And all of these cards that I have used here today, I have linked down below for you and in the order that they appear if you want to get any of those decks for yourself. And that is all, my beautiful babies, or my beautiful pumpkins, I should say. And I will speak to you all again very soon. Happy 2021. Happy New Year. I will speak to you again soon. I love you so much. All right, pile number 4. Welcome in to your 2021 year ahead. We're going to start with basically where you currently are or where you were in 2020, and then where you're going to be transitioning throughout the year of 2021 is where we're going to start. So where you are currently or what you've just experienced, we have the Two of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. So I feel like many of you maybe had to make some really, really hard decisions in 2020 or even at just the beginning of this year. Excuse me. And I say that because the Two of Swords is about making hard decisions and not really wanting to make it. But if you don't, the universe kind of steps in and makes it for you. So I keep burping, so I know that I'm speaking the truth, because that is like a huge key indicator of energy movement, is like when you start like burping or hiccuping or sneezing or whatever. Everybody kind of has something different. But with the Two of Swords, it's tough decisions that you really don't want to have to make. And I feel like 2020 really challenged a lot of people in that way. No matter what those challenges were, some people had to choose to send their kids to school or to not send their kids to school. Some people had to choose to go into work or not go into work, or some people felt like they did not have choices in those matters and just had to do what they had to do. So, those are just some examples. There's obviously a huge myriad of choices. And then with the Knight of Wands, I feel like this is oftentimes about like new ideas, pursuing new callings in life. Maybe you even changed your job during this time, or you've been considering it, or just something major in your path. The Five of Pentacles to me also says that there maybe have been a significant amount of times this past year or right now where finances have not been okay. And you've really had to scrounge, or there was like a lot of fear around finances there, and you've had to maybe even rely on a lot of friends to help you pick yourself back up this year because finances just were not good. So I feel like many of you maybe were in kind of a crap situation this year, to be honest, or this past year. And you're kind of going into 2021. I do feel like you have a good support network, though. The Three of Cups to me is a healthy support network of like friends, family sometimes. But that is definitely something that you've had to cling to this year, is your support network. So let's go ahead and look at the transition. So we have the Three of Cups again, but this is on top of the Two of Swords. Maybe some of you with your support network, you've had to weed out people, or you'll be weeding out people this year. You're going to have to make some choices in who your real friends are this year. That's going to be a big theme. And Spirit really wants me to tell you that if this is a friend that helped you out in 2020 when things were really hard, Spirit wants you to know that that doesn't grant somebody your friendship. Nobody is ever entitled to your time or your friendship. Just because somebody does something nice for you one day does not mean you now owe them your time, attention, or even your friendship. We also have Justice over the over the Knight of Wands. Did I say swords earlier? I meant to say wands. We have the Justice card over the Knight of Wands, and I feel that some of you maybe have been in like a custody battle. You know what's funny is I kind of heard that initially, that there was maybe somebody in your life that you've had a hard time with, like a male predominant figure, I feel like. This could be a female as well, but oftentimes the Knight of Wands is like somebody who is like devilishly handsome or like almost too good to be true. And then when we have Justice coming in, this involves the law. So it could be like, maybe this person was not good for you. This is the person that you need to cut off that like seemed really supportive at first, but isn't anymore. And in 2021, there might be some things that you have to even clear up with the law because of this person. Again, this could be a custody battle with this person. I'm hearing directly from Spirit that it could be that, or maybe it's just like mistakes that they've made that maybe you have been the supporter and your name is on certain things that, it's going to take like legal action to kind of fix. And I don't want you to be scared of this. This potentially could not even apply to you in this reading, but, Spirit ultimately wants you to know when we see Justice, especially coming out upright, this usually means that the law like is in your favor. There is a favorable outcome. Now, please know that do not ever use me for legal advice. There are legal professionals out there for that reason. I am not a trained professional in law. So, just putting a disclaimer on that. Now, we also have the Five of Pentacles with the Five of Wands. And to me, what that really says is, in 2020 to 2021, finances might still be a little bit of a struggle for you because the Five of Wands is the struggle busting card. Like it is struggling with colleagues, struggling with friends, struggling with family. It might even be related to this with like Justice. There's a little bit of a financial struggle going on, but ultimately it's a battle that I feel like it's just like chaos for chaos's sake. And when you decide to maybe limit contact with this person, I feel like a lot of it is coming from a direct source. If you limit contact or cut this person out, that might actually really help you because I feel like they are causing chaos for chaos's sake for like no good reason. And then we have the Emperor on top of the Three of Cups. So I feel like this is the year where you are potentially going to be challenged a little bit more, but you're going to come out on top. When I see an Emperor card as like an outcome, this is you being really sound in your own foundation. These trials kind of coming along to show you that you have your own back at the end of the day, that you are the person that you can be relied upon. You are a critical thinker, a solution getter. You are not afraid of hard work, and you are able to really take complete control of your life and all the situations in your life. It's actually a very empowering card. It's very empowering because it's saying like you are the grand master, orchestrator, and creator of what you want your life to look like. And not necessarily in the way that like the magician is. This is a little bit different. This is more of you creating your own foundation because the Emperor is also the 4 card, like it's a number 4. And in numerology, what we know of 4 is it's very stable. It's the number of foundation. So I feel like you might in 2021 be starting back at square one, but it's going to be with a much better and stronger foundation and stronger integrity. So when you do that, you have nothing will be able to hurt you, basically. And I don't mean that like you'll never let anyone in ever again. Like be very careful with that. I would say if there was any kind of caution, be very careful in the sense that, it might cause you to not want to let anyone in ever again because there's been a lot of mistrust. But Spirit is letting you know that you have people that love you, that want to support you. That's why this 3 of Cups came down here again. We have it twice. There are people that love you, that care about you, that want to support you. Don't shut yourself off from all connection. Because even though we are beyond needing tribe to survive in the sense that, we're not going to literally starve to death if we don't have a tribe, right? Not like back then. But we do still need human connection. It's very important for us as a species. We are very social creatures. So don't shut yourself off from the world just to kind of rise up on your own. It's way more fulfilling when you still create those fulfilling relationships along the way. But this is the year that I feel like many of you might even be entering your Saturn returns. I know I am. Sorry, I just dropped a couple cards. But I feel that many of you are really going to get back on your own 2 feet and like rise to your fullest potential this year. So we also have for you psychic protection. We have joy and we have authenticity. Oh, I love this. Okay. So psychic protection, this I feel like is a message directly from your spirit team. They are saying, no matter what is coming your way this year, we've got your back. We're protecting you. Nobody will raise their voice against you. And if they do, know that you are divinely protected by us. So that's just, I got the chills when I said that. Like your spirit team is saying, hey, we got you. When we have authenticity and joy, though, again, I feel like this year could be a little bit challenging for some of you, but the more you release the desire to control the outcome of whatever comes your way, the faster you're going to find that joy and you're going to be able to be very authentic in every moment. I'm hearing from Spirit that many of you struggle with speaking your truth, speaking your mind, and you're always rehearsing. Like before you open your mouth to speak to somebody or say something really important, you're often rehearsing what you'll say based on any given situation. And Spirit is wanting you to know that this is the year that you're going to let that go and you're just going to say what's on your mind when it's happening. And there's not going to be so much fear. Like, I feel like this is the year that you're going to kind of get over your own fears, the things that are holding you back. And I actually said this to pile number 2 as well. But something that I've been reading recently that's really been helping me, I think it was pile number 2 that I mentioned this to as well. If you're interested, this will be linked down below. I have been reading The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. This is all about like removing your blockages, your limiting beliefs, your upper limits, and really just kind of overcoming the things that stop you and getting to a place where you let yourself have unlimited potential. So check that book out if you're interested. Now, oh my gosh, I just burped again. Now we also have surrender to the divine and what do you need to release? So honestly, this is going to be the year. I'm telling you, 2021 is the year where you are going to get rid of all the people, the things, anything that is not serving your highest good and helping you become the best version and the most authentic version of yourself is going to just be shed off. So I do feel like that is going to be challenging this year if you're holding really closely to certain things that are not helping you. But the faster you let them go, the easier this process is going to be. And when we say surrender to the divine, this is really about knowing that, yes, you have control. Yes, you have a say. Yes, you get to manifest your own destiny and your own desires. However, sometimes you have to stop micromanaging the universe and just say, you know what? This is what I would like to happen. This is the experience I would like to have. But if this can't happen, like I release that you know better, universe, God, whatever, higher power, higher self, whatever it is that you believe in. I recognize that you are the one in control. You are the one that knows what is like best for me. You take my best interests into account. I'm going to surrender this and let go of the outcome. So I love that. Now, I also picked up on a couple of energies for you for the year. We have number 23, dynamic. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So here we are again talking about joy in your life this year. So even though we have all these complicated cards, I do feel like you're going to get to this place of expressing and feeling true joy. I told you, it's not all doom and gloom for you. Like, I do think there's going to be some hard moments this year, but ultimately it's all for your betterment. And at the end of it, it's going to be like, wow. Like, I feel like when you take stock of 2021, you're going to be so happy at the way the year unfolded. We also have a delight. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we invoke in others. So wow, I just got the chills. Again, we're talking about joy. We're talking about creating our own joy. And we don't do toxic positivity on this channel. I've talked about this multiple times. I don't believe in just like, oh, say positive things to you, say nice things to yourself. Like, yes, that helps. But if you internally do not believe those things about yourself and you haven't gone in to do the work, you're not going to believe it anyways. Like, it's not going to do any good if you don't get to the heart of the matter. And so I feel like to experience this intense joy in 2021 for your life and like really up level into that, you are going to have to get in there and do some personal work to get there. But it is there for you. It is like the universe really is supporting you to make those decisions this year. And then the last two cards before we roll the Astro dice for you, I have a couple of relationship cards. So if you're in a relationship looking for one, or if you're not, just totally ignore these. But I have flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. So I think this is even just about like friendships too, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. Maybe it's just my energy, but I'm a flirtatious person too. Not always, but I flirt with my friends. We all know it's good and fun. It's not serious. But Spirit is saying again, don't close yourself off from connections. Be open to being flirtatious with your partner, with a new partner, with your friendship circles. Let yourself have fun with those connections. And we also have for you, give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So if there is a partnership that you're in that you feel like you want to try to make work and resolve, give it a chance. Try it out. See how it feels. Don't just walk away so easy. Obviously, if it is a very toxic environment, I am never, ever, ever going to tell you, yes, please stay in that situation. No, please walk away. But for those of you that you feel like it could still work and you want to work on it, give it another chance. Be playful with your partner. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll the Astro dice for you. We're going to start with the house dice a few times. So we have, if this is a 9, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, no, it's a 6. We rolled a 9 in every other reading. This is 6. So 6 is all about your routines. This is the house of Virgo. This is going to be you dedicating yourself to mastery. This is big emperor energy, like what we drew up there. This is going to be you really understanding what you're like. You need to lay groundwork for yourself this year. This is going to be getting into meditation, getting into working out, getting into nutrition, getting into working in a certain way, like making your own schedule, meal planning, anything that you feel like really strikes your fancy on taking care of your basic human needs and doing so in a very routine way, getting clear on your routines and your foundation. Another theme we're going to have for you is the 11th house. This is going to be friendships, connections with others. I do believe that the 11th house also speaks about fame. So if that's something that you're looking towards, there might be something in that for you this year. And then, the 11th house again. So friendships. And also, I feel like the 11th house, I don't hear enough people talk about this, but the 11th house to me is also the wishing house. So this is like a wish granted. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll all 3 of the Astro dice together now to get a final. Okay. We'll roll that one again. She was trying to run away. We got the 2nd house, which is the house of Taurus. We got Virgo and the moon. So the 2nd house, this is going to be personal finance. So in 2021, I feel like you are going to be really working on getting your finances in order. The house of Virgo, once again, or not the house, but the sign of Virgo, this is going to be again about your routines, and especially in terms of health and service to others. That is what Virgo represents, is health and service to yourself and to others. So really working on your health this year. I think this is physical and mental. And then we also have the moon. So the moon is going to be how you care for yourself. It's also going to be your emotional strength. And it's also sometimes talks a lot about your connection with your mother. So some of you might need to do some healing there. If not, disregard that. And it might just be more along the lines of learning how to mother yourself, learning how to take the best care of yourself, and doing so through routines and financial planning. So that is what I see for you for 2021. I'm excited to see what is going to come. Honestly, I have to tell you, pile number 4, through my biggest trials, I don't want this reading to scare you. Obviously, I can't control how you perceive it, but I don't want this reading to be scary for you because I gotta tell you, through my biggest trials in my life so far, that is where the biggest blessings have unfolded. This channel that I upload to, that I love, that I have created, came after one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. And so I owe it, like, just know that if anything feels uncertain or scary, like, you are that close to like your biggest blessing. So that is what I have for you. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm at Kloee Taylor. This next week, I am going to be streaming live on Twitch. Those of you, I know not everybody here likes gaming. I know that's not everybody's thing, but the reason I'm telling you, and I will make a formal announcement about it as well, is that many of you have said, like, how can I talk to you? Like, I can't get through on email, can't get through on your DMs, and it's because I get flooded with those. But if you've ever wanted to, like, have a conversation with me, be my best friend, I don't know if I can promise you all that, but please come to my Twitch streams next week. I'm going to be playing probably Nintendo games. We're just going to be chilling, talking, hanging out, talking about astrology, talking about tarot, whatever you all want to talk about. I genuinely have only ever streamed in my lifetime because I've wanted to have a deeper connection with my audience. Even when I did gaming only, that was like the only reason I did it. So that's what I'm kind of coming back for, is to have a deeper connection with you. It is going to be the best place to come and actually get to talk with me so I can learn more about you. So it's something that I like to offer. Like, honestly, like, yes, you can subscribe on my Twitch channel, but that's not really what I'm after. I just want to connect with my audience more. I miss having that, like, instantaneous community. So I'll be doing that next week on January 5th. Again, I will have a more formal announcement coming, but just if you want to check it out now, link is down below. You can go follow that channel. I'm really excited to do it. Like, really, it's probably the thing I've been looking forward to all month long. It's the thing I've been working on all month long. All last month rather. But also, please do not forget, if you like any of the cards you see here or like the Astro Dice, I link everything down below in the order that it appears. And if you feel called to do so, it is never expected, always appreciated. I have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal listed down below. You can tip me for my readings. Again, I do not expect that from you, but I do appreciate any help. It goes directly towards the channel. And please do not forget, when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. I love you so much, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.